Understanding by Design Mini Presentation, created by Karen Stone, EDT 8390, Instructional Design. Smart Learning Objective. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to prepare a lesson plan template utilizing the Understanding by Design concept. The lesson plan will consist of 3 stages. Stage 1, define the main idea. Stage 2, identify acceptable evidence. And Stage 3, the Where To acronym. Let's begin. Before we dive into the individual stages, I want to give you a brief overview regarding the Understanding by Design concept. Understanding by Design, UbD, is a curriculum planning framework that focuses on students' cognitive understanding of a unit or lesson. Wiggins and McTighe, 2011. For the purpose of this mini presentation, we will focus on 3 main stages that will cover the UbD design concept. Stage 1, identify desired results, the big idea. Stage 2, determine acceptable evidence via performance tasks, other evidence, and a grading rubric. Stage 3, plan the learning experience using the acronym Where To. Please note, each stage builds upon the other stage. UbD Stage 1, identify desired results, will be used to identify the big idea of a lesson. During this stage, you should ask teammates, prior students, other people the question, what do you want to achieve? Stage 1 will also identify standards and competencies, transfer, meaning via essential question or understanding, acquisition, knowledge, and skills. I will explain each element in detail on the next slide. Contents and standards. Standards are like the building code. Architects and builders must attend to them, but they are not the purpose of the design. Transfer is what the student needs to know, either currently or in the future, without support of the instructor. Meaning is your essential question / understanding. An understanding is an idea that results from reflecting on analyzing one's learning. An important generalization, new insight, or useful realization that makes sense out of prior experience. An understanding is not a fact, but a theory in the broadest sense. It is the result of inference, the developing and testing of ideas by learners with teacher assistance as needed, culminating in the idea that seems useful and illustrative to the learner. Wiggins and McTighe, 2011. Your acquisition is your knowledge and skills. In the short term, our aim is for students to acquire knowledge and skills. This is where you will state knowledge, factual information, vocabulary, and basic concepts. And procedural knowledge, basic know-how or discrete skills. You want your students to learn by the unit's end. Wiggins and McTighe, 2011. Stage 2 is determining the acceptable evidence. Stage 2 asks the question, how will the instructor determine if learning / understanding was achieved by using enabling and terminal assessments? Assessments should be clearly defined, valid and reliable, measurable, and assess self-learning. This is probably the hardest element to understand. It incorporates the 6 facets of learning by utilizing the acronym GRASP. Let's take a look. Assessments are developed utilizing the 6 facets of understanding. 1. You can explain knowledge learned. 2. Can interpret knowledge learned. 3. Can apply knowledge learned. 4. Can put into perspective using one's own explanation. And 5. Can empathize. and 6 can demonstrate self-knowledge. The 6 facets are covered by utilizing the acronym GRASP when developing acceptable evidence. G is for goal, what the students are expected to learn. R is for role, requires students to explain or apply the knowledge learned. A, audience, who must the student convince, inform, or entertain. S, situation, setting where the students will demonstrate performance of understanding. P is performance, how students will provide evidence of understanding. And S is standards, how the student will be evaluated. Let's take a look at how the GRASP ties into the UbD template. Performance tasks include your transfer and knowledge skills. Your other evidence is your skills, knowledge, and understanding. And then you have a grading rubric, which is based on the performance tasks. The next step is putting it all together in step 3. Step 3, plan the learning experience. Step 3 is specifically designed with the student in mind. This is where the acronym WHERE TO will be utilized. Wiggins and McTighe, 2011, explained that WHERE TO acronym will represent qualities of an effective lesson plan. W, where is the lesson going? The essential question from stage 1 is addressed here. Lesson goals, relevance, and diagnosis are also identified. H, how to engage, hook, motivate the students. How will technology be incorporated? An example of a hook could be a pretest. E, what equipment will be used to assess the student's learning? Tools to assess a student's experience, homework, and mini quizzes are also examples. R, this step allows students to rethink, revise, refine, and reflect. This can be done by incorporating the 6 facets of learning, focusing on the last 3, perspective, empathy, and self-knowledge, as tools to assess that learning has taken place. E is the self-evaluation. You can self-evaluate by utilizing formative feedback via mini, essay, or quizzes, student feedback throughout the lesson, or designed as a tool to assess both the student attainment and instructor performance. The T in where to is how the lesson will be taught. Remember, content should be tailored to the learner. Know your audience, situation, and product you are teaching. O, organize the lesson with technology. Here you want to show how students will achieve understanding via the use of technology to include tasks that will assess the student's understanding. Stage 3, plan the learning experience, where to learning plan. This is an example of how you would want to organize the template. Now that you have a basic understanding behind the UbD concept, we will go ahead and summarize what we just talked about. You should be able to prepare a lesson plan template utilizing the Understanding by Design concept. Your lesson plan should include Stage 1, defining the main idea, Stage 2, identify acceptable evidence, and Stage 3, use the Where To acronym. The final slide are 2 references that were used to develop this mini presentation. Thank you for taking the time and reviewing the